All right, this is the Astral Travel Interdimensional Meditation Report for June 26th, 2025. Last night, June 25th, during the new moon, also very close to the equinox, we did a special interdimensional meditation to align with Satya Yuga. And it became a very interesting timeline shift. And so this is the Astral Travel Report. If you did this meditation, this one right here, please go into the comments and share your experience, because I think it was a very powerful one for a lot of people. This doesn't happen all that often, but sometimes before a special meditation, light beings will show up and they will tell me, here's what we'd like for you to focus on. And they give me a general outline or a basic direction or a basic intent. And then, things happen however they happen. So they showed up, and the basic intent of this meditation was to align with when the fall happened during the last golden age. Of course, this is what created the flood event that wiped out the advanced civilization and plunged us into eventually diving into what we now know as Kali Yuga, the Age of Darkness, which we are now coming out of. And so, so let's get into what happened. All right. So to be honest with you, just before I was sitting down to make this video, I couldn't remember anything. There's only one thing that I could remember, which was that I made a completely different choice than I thought I was going to make. And I'll share that with you. But I actually had to cheat a little bit, and I had to listen to, I didn't want to, go through the whole meditation, so I just bounced around a little bit, and then there were whole things that I completely, totally forgot. I forgot the entire meditation. And, it's not like I go into a state of dissociation when I'm meditating. I'm fully conscious of what I'm doing. But who knows why? It's just such a powerful experience, and it's a whole other world, and it's like, forgetting a dream. When you wake up, you remember the dream, and then a half hour later, you forgot. What was that dream about? It just fades because it's not part of this reality. So I know the meditation was powerful because I forgot everything. So in any case, we started off, I gave a pretty deep explanation about the yugas and how we were going to align with the fall event, the flood event that happened 13,000 years ago. You can see directly opposite where we are now, where it says present, is the Younger Dryas climate catastrophe. And so I had the feeling that the light beings were saying that the yugas are aligning, we're traveling on the yuga circle, and things are now aligning to where we're probably in the exact opposite place we were 13,000 years ago, which would have, anyway, I won't try and speculate more than that. So I explained all that and what I thought we were going to do, and when we started meditating, doing the whole breath, I got a clear indication that we were supposed to go deep into the earth, into the center of the earth. And we went there, and we went to Nagaloka. And refresh my memory, what you remember happened. I vaguely remember that we found a gemstone, and we allowed it to go in whatever part of our astral body it wanted to. And I can't remember if we communicated with any Nagas. I think we did. Tell me what happened, because I don't remember. And I only know this because I cheated and clicked a couple places in the video. And I remember that there was a portal that opened up and it acted like a mirror. And we went and stood in front of it, and on the other side of that was ourselves at 13,000 years ago in the Golden Age. And so I said, if you're doing this meditation, it's very likely that you were there. The question is, what were you? Were you a human? Were you an extraterrestrial? Were you a light being? Were you a god? What exactly were you? Maybe just a spirit? I don't know. And so I remember I haven't seen myself. I've tried to see myself before, and I haven't been able to. And this time I got some ideas, and I had long black hair, which is interesting because in this life, I know you don't believe it, but I used to have very long black wavy hair all the way down to my ass, in the 70s, where, we had our brushes in our back pocket, of, big bell-bottom pants. We wore up to our navel. So we just did things so differently back then. And I had my brush, and I'd pull it out of my back pocket, and I'd brush my hair. And when I would go to the beach, I thought this was really cool. But if I was coming out of the ocean, I'd dunk my hair in the water, and I'd flip it back, and all of this hair and all this water would go flying back. Yeah, I thought I was pretty cool. But it turns out that the guy I saw 13,000 years ago had long black hair as well, beard. I didn't get a clear image, but it looked a lot like we see of the people in Sumeria, the ancient Sumerians. Looked a lot like that to me. And anyway. So I'd love to hear what you saw. So I knew that that's who I was going to be. We went through the barrier, and then we became that person. And I told you to look at the body that you were in, and then allowed yourself to see the world around you. Where were you? What could you see? So I got I didn't get a lot, but I got some indications. I remember sitting in this huge throne, on top of this stone, walkway pedestal thing. And yeah, it was the feeling was very powerful. I remember allowing myself to feel what he felt. And there was just a huge amount of power. Not just energetically, but his personality. Incredibly powerful man. Anyway, I enjoyed that. And then I don't remember what else we did then. At some point, I said something about you're given a choice. Okay, and then so we made a choice 13,000 years ago, which brought us to this point now. And then I attempted to pause that and say, now we're going to consciously look at two different choices that would go in two different directions. Now I know what those choices would be. This is where things got very interesting. My plan was that I was going to take the higher road. So I knew that my two choices were, I could continue to do what I was doing and work towards trying to keep Earth in Satya Yuga by using energy, technology, the pyramids and other things to try and keep the Earth in that place. And the other option was to let all that go and actually to ascend, to shift up and let Earth and whoever else wanted to shift down into what we knew was coming. And I had every intention. It's one of the reasons I did this meditation. I had every intention that I was going to shift up. And then I was going to bring that energy back into this world. And that's not what happened. When I was given that choice, what I saw was that in order for human beings to completely awaken and completely find their most powerful expression of their soul, I had to do option one. I had to actually take action that would bring about the shift and the fall downward. And the difference was this time I had a higher dimensional connection to see the long path that this would take. And I realized that this was the only path that was available. Now, the person I was then 13,000 years ago, I actually allowed myself or orchestrated it so that I would be in a mindset where I thought I had to use this technology to save the planet. Because if I had known what was really going on, I might not have done it. So I chose to allow myself to be deceived into the decision I made, because on a higher note, that was actually what was best. What was best for human beings is the most difficult path. So you want to get upset about, Kali Yuga and all that stuff, you can blame me, because apparently that was my higher self making that decision. And so this time what I did is I made the decision again, but this time it was a conscious decision. It wasn't me thinking I'm acting out of my pride and my ego, and then the world falls and I'm this big loser and all this shame. This time it was, no, I'm going to choose to bring the earth even deeper into this consciousness experiment, so that we will get to the point where we are now, and we will shift up even like a rocket. We'll shoot up faster and higher than ever before. So it was a completely different outcome than I had expected. What happened after that? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. So put in the comments what you remember. I vaguely remember at some point coming back to 3D Earth and doing the CE5 and bringing people, light beings, down onto our planet. But to be honest, by that point, I was in such a high frequency, I don't remember anything. So anyway, that was our interdimensional meditation to align with Satya Yuga and create a timeline shift. I feel pretty confident about that, and I felt really confident that I was connecting to the highest frequency, and that I brought a lot of that back with me. And as always, there's a rubber band effect. The farther I go into higher dimensions in these meditations, the farther back the rubber band snaps in the other direction. So that definitely happened. But luckily for me, for the first time in a long time, there's been very small, it gets unsurfable here in Florida for months at a time, weeks and months. It's not impossible to go 6 weeks and not get any surfing in. So I was able to get some surfing in today and yesterday. That makes me much happier. So I was able to handle the rubber band snapback, and anyway, I'm looking forward to an exciting shift and a change in my living situation over the next few days. So anyway, that's it, my friends. There's the report. We do have the live guided meditations every Wednesday and Saturday, we do have the live CE5 coming up Saturday. Sorry, the meditations are on Wednesday. The CE5 meditations are on Saturday. And just a reminder, we are still, I still have the Thulian Starseed Ascension Astrology. This is a new thing. Check it out, thulian.thunderwizard.com, where I give you very interesting astrological guidance, as well as channeling the ETs to really tell you who you are at a soul level. We've got Galactic Contact, which is getting more interest in it. This you can find at contact.thunderwizard.com. We got all kinds of stuff. We still got the channeled personal guidance, which you can find at channel.thunderwizard.com. We still got the Maush on sale, maushan.thunderwizard.com. And I appreciate everybody who has been supporting the channel in a very real way. Keeps me doing this work. And I'm really looking forward to, I feel a shift is underway in a positive way. I feel like energy is starting to move again, and I'm looking forward to that. So share with me in the comments what your experiences have been again, and I will see you all very soon, my friends. Please take very good care of yourselves.